Hi everyone, welcome back to the channeling series, and we are back on the laws of success, and we are on law number 8, right? So, law number 8 is law of resilience. Okay, so every successful person, right, you've probably seen that they've gone through some or the other failures, right? And they've been resilient and they've not let that failure affect them, and they've learned from it. They learn the lesson and they move forward, right? Now what happens many a times is that, first of all, being successful doesn't mean that you have to go through failures, but we know that life is all about different experiences, I would say, right? Some experiences we like, some we don't like, and it's about facing the ones we don't like, right? Let's not even call it failure, and learning from it rather than succumbing to it, right? Because mostly what happens is when we succumb to it, that's where, we risk being successful, right? It's not about falling, okay? We will all fall. We all fall, we all rise, right? That's the flow of life. But it's about staying at the bottom, right? Choosing to stay there. That's the issue, right? That's where law of resilience comes up, that come what may, whatever the ebbs and flows are, you will always rise, right? Like, for instance, there have been many instances, if I just look at my journey, right, there can be so many experiences that I went through where I could just blame everyone, where I could just say, I'm the victim, I went through this, this happened, that happened, and all of that, right? And all of us also do that. But instead of saying that this happened to me and that is why I'm suffering, flip the sentence and say that this happened to me, even then I did this. This happened, that happened to me, and even then I did that, right? Go into that questioning mode of what else is possible, how does it get better than this? Because these are the two questions that will actually bring you out of every situation. And if you're doing well, then bring more like amazing circumstances, situations, opportunities in your life. It'll attract more of that, right? So, what else is possible? How does it get better than this? And these are the two tools I've been sharing with my clients all the time, right? If there is an issue, ask the question. If you want something better, ask these questions, right? Be in the question mode, right? Now, um, looking at every problem as a redirection rather than a curse, rather than a stop, rather than a failure, right? What else is possible? Okay, this didn't work out. Let's try and look for another, alternative, right? Do not make things that don't work out for you your identity. Just look at it as an experience, learn from it, and move forward, right? And my mentor says that, think of any situation in your life that you've overcome, or think of any situation in your life where you've been successful, where you've shown resilience. It could be anything. It could be passing an exam. It could be, getting your blood drawn successfully, right? It could be getting, like a blood test. People are scared of needles and all. Recently, I got it done, so I'm remembering. It could be, being kind to somebody. It could be when you were having a bad day. It could be helping someone. It could be taking a risk and being successful. It could be learning how to drive, which I did quite late in my life. And and I feel like, it took a lot of resilience for me to learn. It could be, planting a plant and then actually see it blossom. It could be taking care of a pet, whatever. If you've done anything that required some sort of a risk, some sort of a, energy of resilience, and you did it, right? My mentor says that that means you have that energy of success in you, right? And success is a habit. And if you once a champion, always a champion. So if you've done it once in your life, you can always go back to that energy anytime. And it can be for anything, right? It can now be for a company, it can now be for your health, it can now be for your relationship, it can now be for money, anything. Because you already experienced that energy of success once in your life. So you just have to tap into that energy again, right? So I hope this message resonated with all of you. And I'll be back tomorrow with law number 9. And like I told you, there are 11 laws, and this week we'll finish them all, and I'll put them all in a playlist so that you can all listen to it whenever you want to. Right? So signing off, Anisha Das from Zariya Healings.